know. I was like, we need to hit the record button now before we say something so profound that we're going to miss it.
I'm so happy to be here. Nice to meet everyone.
Yeah, so I am going to just dive in because I know that I want to be respectful of your time today. And I also know we have so much to say on important topics that relate back to, actually, I feel like they're relating to all the things that I love in life: the masculine, feminine, intimacy, like discomfort and uncertainty, and linking it back to how we can really deepen our own self-connection and experience to our own inner world. I feel like you've, even just from the chat we've had, are displaying such beautiful attributes and traits that people can really learn from today that can guide them back to who they are. So I'm excited to dive into that.
All right, I'm all in.
So let's start here. What we were just chatting about brought up for me recently, as we're in this uncertain world that we're in right now. I stopped. I quietened my voice. I stopped talking. I stopped doing my podcast for a while. I didn't want to be part of the noise. And at this exact same time, I couldn't sleep at night because my jaw was in so much pain. It was like locked. My neck started to stiffen. I was like having all of these actual physical reactions based on the fact that I was shutting down my voice and not speaking out, right? And you're a vocal coach, so you work with actors and you work with people on releasing that part of themselves. And I can feel it in this moment still. Like my jaw is still like kind of tight. Like it's, I feel a lot of tension build up in that part of me when I'm stressed or when I'm not speaking out. What is that about? Like, why do we experience that? And how do we release the jaw, and what would that do for us?
I mean, it's such a great question, and I'm sorry you've had that experience, because it's also so normal. There's so many people that have had that. Let me back up a little bit before we dive into that. So, how I got into and why I became so passionate about voice in general is mind, body, spirit, inspiration. Oh my God, my breath, my voice is actually the thing that connects my mind and my body. My breath connects my mind and my body. My mind is normally, most of us are obsessing about the future. Our bodies are, an amalgam of traumas from the past. So our minds in the future, our bodies are in the past. And the thing that aligns us in the present moment is the breath. So when we speak, persona, through sonar, sound, through sound, my persona, my personality is my sound. So my note, my vibration is me. Sam has her note. Sam has her sound, her signature sound. Jamie has his sound. And if those are on the podcast, whether they can see or whether they are just listening, hopefully you can feel with my voice, it's coming from my heart. Can you feel I'm speaking to you when I'm speaking from my heart? Hopefully it enters the heart. But if I'm up here and I'm talking, I'm tense and this, my voice will just be, it's just that. You're right. I love what you said before. I don't want to be part of more of the noise. And if anything's from the head, it's just going to be more from the noise. Yeah. Right? So part of us and why we shut down, through my experience, whether it's the back of the neck or the jaw, what we're trying to do is we're trying to control. So I'm not going to talk. I'm going to not do this because of this. I'm trying to control something, when really from something through your gut, your loins, your yoni, your heart is actually wanting to express something. And you're like, no, I'm not. Who am I? Why am I this? No. So then you calcify the throat, the neck, and the jaw, and you repress. You begin to close. And you and I have talked about the masculine and the feminine, and through David Data's work. And if for those that know David, do you know David's work through Justin? Well, what does David talk about? So much, whether you read Blue Truth, and this is, I really believe in this, is we have the choice to either open or close. So why not have that same teaching for your voice? Oh, interesting. I'm closing. So what happens to vibration in tension? What happens to the vibration?
Mm.
It absorbs, right? What happens to vibration in expansion?
I don't know.
It amplifies.
Mm.
So this vibration that's wanting to come through, I'm going to just feel, I'm going to open it. I'm going to open this sound. And even if it's not words or being on a podcast, I'm going to open this sound. And I guarantee you, I can actually promise you, the feelings, the unfelt feelings will start flowing through. So this is a way of thinking about this 100 years ago. Say you were having a baby, right? Your childbirth and the midwife, what do they put in your mouth?
I don't know.
Like a bit, piece of leather.
Oh, right.
Why do they do
Bite
that?
down on, yeah.
Why?
To close? I don't know.
It's almost like a beta blocker. It stops the feeling. So if I go,
Oh my
less,
gosh. Wow.
yes, less pain neurons are firing to the brain.
It's
So I
the same
close.
as when we're like actually in pain for some reason, like we hold on tight to something, or we
So it
literally do
stops
clench
the
down
pain
our jaw.
exactly.
Mm.
So what you were doing and why your body and your nervous system was shutting down is because it's like, nope, I do not want to feel this.
Yes, because it was a lot. It was fire, it was anger, it was like all of this like heavy, like deep, intense emotion that like normally I'm like, don't do that because that's not cool. That won't be liked, that'll be judged. And it's like, keep that in. And I'm like, no, but I have a lot to say and I'm passionate and I care. And I was like, nope, keep it in. And so it was like this battle that I was experiencing because it wasn't the pretty little emotion that wanted to come out that everyone likes. It was actually a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so I experienced the exact same thing in the yoga of intimacy when, through eye gazing and through like being met with a masculine presence that's holding that space of me going, don't let this out because it's not pretty and it won't be loved. And so I would bite my lip and I would like, not, and I would like, it'd be like my whole jaw would be like shaking. And it was like, don't lose control, keep it in. But then as soon as like, what it's like in a embodiment experience like that, like they push you until you release it. And as soon as I released, it was met with such like beauty and such like it was received so well that it allowed me to be like, oh, like I'm allowed to let this out, like this is okay. And it started just to free so much of my own perception and warped views of what I shouldn't let out, to just like feeling like I can just fully express and be who I am.
That's amazing. That's absolutely, you're, yes, you're speaking my language. That is exactly. And I also want to throw in there the epigenetics, right, of especially the feminine, especially women over the years, the Salem witch trials, and how often have women been able to really be able to share their feelings without being told they're hysterical or you're a witch or don't speak up. I mean, I think even women have been able to vote for 100 years, at least in the States. So there are, ancestors that have not been able to speak freely.
Yeah.
It's still a challenge to this day. So you're having to deal with a lot more than just what your emotions are being able to reveal through sound.
Yeah. But I really like what you said though around, if it's coming from fear or if it's coming from the head, then that's how it's received. Whereas if I've dropped into my body and into my heart and I open my heart and I have a message to share that's from that place, then the way that I share it, it would be received in that place. Like I feel you speaking from, your body, from your heart, from your depth. Whereas if I often find that when something's not landing with me, I'm not quite getting it, it's because I can see that it's not coming from somebody's true core.
Correct.
So it's really interesting that we can pick up on that just by how they're speaking.
How much of communication is the words?
Very little.
Like less than 10%. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So one of my favorite things is, this is a cliche, but what is it most women say to their man? It's not what you said, it's how you said it. And they're right.
yeah.
No, I said you look great in that dress. And you're like, no, you didn't. You didn't say, you didn't mean it. Like, so men are like, no, I said the thing. And then they don't, because the women are much more open and sensitive, and you read all the nuances.
Yeah.
And that's why the masculine and feminine work is so amazing, is that when men are being trained to truly being divine masculine, that they have, autonomy over and command over their voice.
Mm,
So the words they're using are matching the feeling.
mm,
And that is wholly different than saying the right thing.
yeah. Mm. Because even like the way that you just said that now, right, makes me calm, makes my nervous system like just be here and be in the present. And if
Mhm.
I was in an argument, or like if I was in a stressful situation and I'm trying to talk to someone and they're just like, they're kind of reacting off my reaction, and it's like a whole, like, it's a whole, like, just relax, just settle down, just do this thing. It's like making me more stressed. But if I was in that state and then someone was just like, okay, like, I'm here with you. Like, what do you need? Like, it instantly just makes me go, ah. And that's not through even the words that they're saying. It's just through the way that they've said it.
One of my favorite things, I give John Wineland, who's my coach for years, so much credit. It's my partner and I. Um, Sometimes she struggles with asking for what she wants. That's her thing. It's like, whether, and also if she's mad at me, she has a hard time expressing that. She's getting much better. She's amazing. And I love her. She's my queen. But what John would say in one of our sessions, he said, don't even use words. Come storm into his office if I'm being a workaholic, and come in and go, end of argument. That sound, I know exactly what she means. Rather than, well, actually, when you did it, and words get in the way, rather than a gesture, a stomp of the foot, a sound. She makes one sound, it is worth 1,000 words. That sound.
Okay, can we go into this more? Because I work with a lot of women and I talk to a lot of women around this, and especially ones that are in a relationship and are trying to express their needs, right? And I often say, play with it, like play and just like express the emotion by doing what you're doing. But there's so much fear in women that come up around it. Oh, but that would mean I'm too much, or that would mean like I'm, what happens if they don't like that, and then they say grow up. So there's so much concern around how that would be perceived,
No,
and
just warn them.
warn them.
Warn the men. Listen, next time I'm mad at you, I'm just gonna. If it's a practice, you don't just unleash on somebody. You go, I'm working on this thing with my coach, and she's wanting me to express through sound and through gesture. So I'm going to practice that. So I'm just going to, prepare each other.
Mm-hmm.
So then when they do it, and then we have to agree upon these things, in my opinion. And if you get that, there's a container for it, then yeah.
Interesting.
But I think that sometimes that the feminine, the lack of a feminine responsibility is they're playing a guessing game, and they're not actually communicating their needs of so that they can express. But if you just ambush him, I'm sure, yeah, he's probably going to be like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. So, but what about it for your own nervous system, or for, what is about it? What about it is that you like? I can't speak. What about it do you like when there's no words? It's just this energy.
I will tell you. Thank you for asking. The male nervous system is about 3-4 times more dense than the feminine nervous system, right? So you say you're my partner, and you're expressing dissatisfaction with me, and I'm more or less unpracticed. You may do something or say something at a you think is a 7 or an 8. I perceive it at maybe a 2. And so I'm like, oh yeah, she's fine. And inside you're like, steaming or upset or like, ugh. And then I'm like, are you okay? Yeah, yeah. But I'm like, oh, okay, she's fine. I'm gonna go and watch the football game. And so if you're like, ugh, but when they come into the sound, like, and you might feel it's an 11, but to a male nervous system, the masculine nervous system, it's a 7. Like, oh, okay, cool. But we have to acknowledge that we're different. We might be, how tall are you?
Tall, like 5'8".
Yeah, we're the same height.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you I weigh 30, 40 pounds more than you.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? My nervous system is more dense.
Mm-hmm.
So what might affect you, I have to in turn be, maybe I want to give you feedback, but I know that for me, I'm more of a blunt object. And to be like, okay, but for Sam and her sensitivity, I have to then practice being more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
And for the feminine nervous system goes, well, he's probably not going to pick this up. So I might go to an 8 or a 9, because it's not that he doesn't love me and he's not sensitive to me or doesn't care. It's that he literally can't hear it. It's like a dog whistle. And that to me is, I feel 90% of the problems between men and women.
Yeah, I really like that. And then another question that comes up around that is, sometimes, as I know as a woman, like even just saying, like the noise just doesn't come out, or like, oh, I want to express this anger, but like it's not coming out, or I want to express, like there's just this suppression of our voice and our throat that's been there. And so even trying to express, even if it's just in our own space, if I'm just in my own practice and I'm trying to express, it actually has it takes a lot for women to actually just get everything out that they want to get out from their throat. So what do you suggest for people there, like if they can't even express noise?
This is the $1 million question, isn't it? This is why I get paid the big bucks.
That's why you have a job.
Not to pitch anything here. No, it's an art and it's a craft, and it is a practice. It just is a practice, just like health, just like dance, just like any other art. What breaks my heart is that we don't learn how to speak through school. I can't remember, maybe some places in England growing up, or you go to theater school, you actually learn how to speak. So just know that being able to make that sound is just an art that we don't learn. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
It'd be like, how do I know how to sing? Like there's ways and there's methods. So just know that this is, so I have to preface that first, that it is, I still work vocal work every single day. So there's that. Second, I would say women to open their voices with other women first. I think, when this is from my experience, is that there's more trust to be able to be heard with other women. I say men should work with men, women should work with women before if you go and these intimacy workshops, what happens usually the first day, the men are off with the men and the women with the women, and then they come back together.
Yeah, I mean the exercise of releasing those energy points that I mentioned, like how we release the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the yoni, was like sisterhood. It was women in the room that made me feel comfortable to do that.
We're great, exactly. So when you're asking me this as we kind of walk through it, is I would start there, because usually having the masculine presence in the room is automatically, unconsciously might silence somebody. So we'll start there. And then, I would start with the breath. So can I use you? Can I coach you?
Please.
Since you're here and like,
I'm here.
So you're here. And so it's all right. So this podcast, I've never done this before on a podcast. Like, okay. I'm going to coach your fearless leader of this podcast. So are most people listening to us, or can they see us?
Listening, I think, but
Mostly
yeah,
listening.
it's
Okay.
also on YouTube. But yeah, I think they're
Sure.
mostly listening.
Let's say 90% of them listening. But I'm going to read your body. So may I have your permission to coach you, Sam, and, and give you some feedback? And I always ask permission first. Is that okay?
Yes,
Yes. Is that really a yes?
it's really a yes.
Good. It's good. Men should always ask twice for yeses. Have them feel into it. Is that a yes? Okay, good. So because I can only really work with one person at a time, so everyone's a bit different. But even as we're on this podcast today, how I feel you receiving me is still through your head. Like you squint your eyes as you're listening. So if you're squinting your eyes, then I'm really with you and I'm really hearing you, right? And as you talk, your arms come up and your shoulders come up into your ears. And you get, so it all comes from here. And even your eyes got big just then as you're listening to me. So it's almost like everything that I'm saying to you into you're doing it right now. See, do you feel where it's coming into your body?
Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what does he mean
Yeah.
by this?
Oh, it really looks like I'm paying
I don't
attention.
understand. And I really feel yeah, we got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And even as you talk, there's tension in your mouth. It's like I'm really smart. I'm really going to get this clear. And I want people to really understand. So there was even a difference in your voice when you and I were speaking before the podcast came on, as opposed to when we spoke before. So when
Ooh,
the podcast came on, then it became a little bit more pitched. It came a little higher. It came up. And this. I'm trying to get this right. This perfectionist voice started to come through. And I went, oh, I saw the shift.
oh, that's so interesting. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how would I ask? So how I want your listeners to listen to this, I want them to hear it through you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell just for everyone. They're gonna learn how to do it for themselves through you as your avatar in this. Mm-hmm. Okay. First and foremost, get your feet on the ground. Really feel your feet. Okay. And I love that you're a practitioner and you understand the yoni, the heart, and the head, all of that. And I feel very safe practicing with you and in helping you, serving you. Now, would you acknowledge that maybe, at least as you're leading this as the podcast leader, that your energy might be more in your head right now than the rest of your body?
Yeah, feeling it. Like I feel energy more so there than anywhere else.
100%. Great. So we're in agreement. So let's take a moment and just relax. And everyone else can do this too. This is how can we get into the voice. Now imagine the energy, Sam, and for those that are listening, the energy is like honey, like a honeycomb in your brain. And that energy and that center, because your center right now, and for most of us, is in our head. And now it's this dripping honeycomb. And the energy from your head is gliding and sliding with gravity behind the face, down the throat, like globs of energy, sweet, rich honey energy is now coming down the throat. And it's bringing breath with it. So your center is beginning to shift. It's beginning to shift into the heart. So almost half of that honeycomb is oozing on down into the heart, making it warm and thick. Your jaw almost has honey in its joint. And we're breathing through the mouth now. So you're letting your mouth go. So imagine, Sam, I'm just going to push your chin down a little bit. And I'm going to extend the back of your neck. There you go. Good. So let the front of the throat be soft and loose. And the back of your neck is long. And now the honey's in your shoulders. And your shoulders are just like willow trees. They're just floating. And we're going to allow almost all of the honey is out of the head. And it's really in the rib cage now. It's in the throat. And it's coming down now into your belly. And the breath is now coming into the belly and into the womb, to the yoni. And it's taking up more and more space. And even on your exhale, it's not anemic. It's not, it's actually thick and moist. Like it's wet with vibration that has come from your belly. It's soft. Your joints are loose. And even your yoni now is actually surrendering and opening to this honey, to that energy now is in your womb. And that breath now is coming up from the first and second chakra and coming up like a fountain through the heart, past the throat, and your jaw and your face just has completely surrendered and let go. Maybe a sound wants to come out first. So there's no words, it's just almost a yawn. It's a beautiful sound. So allow the yawn to happen first. So the breath first. And where it sticks and where the vibration is not yet quite inhabiting, just notice it. Like, oh, the throat is a little dry. The throat has a little bit of a fist in it. What if the fists, the fingers of that fist let go around your throat? Oh. Oh, amazing, amazing sound. And maybe the listeners can hear it. It's so much better already. That, yeah, do you feel that starting in your throat? Do you feel it starting in your throat? So let your head fall forward. Let it fall forward completely. There, yes. Yeah, yeah. And open, breathe in the back. Out the jaw, open mouth. No pushing, no pushing. Just allow it to come like a wave. Yeah, there it is. Hi, my name is Sam.
Hi, my name is Sam.
Even softer, even juicier. Hi, my name is Sam.
Hi, my name is Sam.
Ooh, do you feel, Sam, did you feel a little of the crackle, like around the Adam's apple? Did you feel
Mhm.
that?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. What if Yoni actually had a mouth and she spoke? Just no words, just and you opened your thighs, your knees apart as you made this sound.
Ah.
Extend that sound, and you open the thighs, and you contract the thighs. You open the thighs. Oh. So your whole body's beginning to open because the vibration is open. So just don't stop the sound. Just let it continue to almost like a chant, like a hum, like a oh.
Ah.
No hum.
Mm. Yeah.
Ah. Mm, ah. Yeah,
Mm.
give yourself a little massage in the jaw. Give the
Ah.
jaw. Massage your jaw. Yeah, massage that jaw. Oh, just keep the sound as you move massaging the jaw. Oh. Now take your, now this is my last little bit. Take your hands like this. So you're not wearing makeup, so it's okay.
Mhm.
So we're gonna put some vibration in the face. It's gonna sound really kind of fun for the people on the podcast. Like no, but no, put sound in your mask in your face. Your shoulders a little bit of yes, hi.
Hi.
I feel like I've met you for the first time. So now imagine you're speaking to me literally from your heart. So this is almost as though your voice, you see my hand, and so as I'm using this gesture as I'm speaking to you, and you can do the same. So you put your hand here, release the jaw, softer, softer, release the jaw, softer, slower. Hi, Jamie, nice to meet you.
Hi, Jamie, nice to meet you.
Oh, hi, Jamie, nice to meet you.
Hi, Jamie, nice to meet you.
Did you notice that the face went like this? Yeah. Now what if it was and it opened, even the lips, You're doing so good. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. You feel this energy wanting this permeate. You're a powerhouse. You're a force. And it's just a bit muzzled.
Yeah, like it feels almost stuck here, like chesty.
Yeah, it's okay. Rona's in both ways. Now do just like a flower opening from here. Ah, oh,
Ah.
Open the mouth. More sound, more sound. You can give me more. Hi, Jamie. Nice to meet you. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. Nice to meet you.
Start with the sound.
Hi, Jamie. Nice to meet you.
Good. Just say hi, Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Wow. Relax the face. Relax. Wow. Beautiful. Oh my God, I feel your heart. So feel the energy that's behind your eyes. What if that energy behind your eyes was your heart? So you're looking at me, literally seeing me with your heart. So the only way when you asked me that question, I was like, I don't know how to explain it. We just have to do it.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now?
I feel softer.
Don't ask your head. So you looking up to ask your head, ask your body. Don't look up.
I feel electric.
Mm.
I feel open.
Mm.
I feel a little bit afraid.
Mm. Under that fear, what are you afraid of?
I looked up. I think it feels emotional for me. Like it feels like a bit of grief or a bit of sadness that's brewing. And so when I let go of, like, when you say like let go of that tension in your eyes and move it down into your heart, I go, oh fuck, like that makes me want to cry. Like that brings up something in me.
Cry. I bet they would love to hear that.
And then
everything.
there's this like, oh, like there's this like thing that hits my heart that like bounces me off, that like just stops me going fully there.
Mm, maybe. Because this is all that you haven't felt and all that you haven't said
Mm.
is what's coming up. Everything that you haven't said. The years you didn't speak up. The years you didn't say what you really meant. Followed your heart's desire. All those years have been repressed. And now, what a gift. Yeah. Don't
Feels
run.
safe, you know, like it's like, like it feels like I want to shake, like it feels like I want to just like move it, like it feels like I'm like done being stuck, you know, it feels like I'm just like, no, like I can't, I don't want it to be trapped there anymore, like it wants to move.
So my homework for you and this everyone else is hum.
Mm.
Mm, 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 mm.
Mm.
Feel
Mm.
the vibration. My favorite thing, it's just sort of my own self-pleasure, is I love lying on the ground, and when I do my voice work, I go, and I can feel like my toe vibrating. I can feel my skull like vibrating in my ribs, like the amphitheater of my ribs, and the sound. And it's all of that current. Oh, I just feel so good. And I'm like, I'm in my body.
Mm.
Sound, voice is almost like you're able to massage, because I've been able to get a massage into it. I can massage myself with my sound. Sound releases and opens and relaxes.
Mm.
It has to, because it is a conductor. It's literally a conductor. So your vibration, your sound is you aligning and embodying your energy.
Mm.
If you're on voice, you are here. You are present. You can't not be embodied and not be in your voice. I've never seen it. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm nowhere else. I'm right here, energetically, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm nowhere else. I'm right here. For me to be here, giving you my sound, it demands all of me to be here in my frequency. I'm giving you my frequency halfway around the world. So are you giving me your frequency. So don't I want to have as much access to my frequency as possible to be felt in the world?
Mm.
But if I'm blocked, then my message, my purpose is also blocked because I'm not felt. I'm only felt to the depth that I can feel. They don't understand me. They keep ignoring me. Yeah, because I'm blocked.
Mm.
So it's a real warrior practice, is to take full responsibility for our no, for our I want, you this, da da da. So part of, if your clients that aren't, to go back to your point about talking to them, is that they aren't listening to themselves. Instead, they're projecting it on the man, because they're not giving themselves permission to speak, and they're wondering why they're not heard. It's up to us to take the responsibility back to find our own voice. And my mentor, he was Princess Diana's voice coach and Margaret Thatcher's voice coach, and he made Margaret Thatcher, as one of the only women in British Parliament, uninterruptible. In the 80s, Prime Minister, can you imagine? She took the power, whether you agree with her policies or not. Vocally, she owned Parliament, vocally. We have the power to take our speech back. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, is that yes, I love masculine and feminine. I love second circle practice with people, but we've got to be strong first in our first circle of self before we can truly be intimate with somebody else.
Hmm.
And that's having a voice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was powerful. Thank you. Thank you for that space. That made me feel really safe to be able to do that. Um, I think what you said is like a really beautiful practice for people of just humming, just starting
Mm,
with a hum,
mm,
just starting somewhere. You know, we
mm.
can do that anywhere. We can do that in intimacy. We can do that with our own self intimacy. We can do that in
Should
our
do it with intimacy. Yeah. Because then he can go, oh, this is working, or this isn't working, or she's, because the sound is so much about the responsiveness. Yeah.
mm,
You doing that makes, oh, that's a response.
hmm,
Masculine is yearning for responsiveness from the feminine.
hmm.
We crave energy. The feminine craves consciousness.
Yeah.
So when you made that sound, I was like, oh, that felt so good to feel your pleasure and knowledge and wisdom in your heart. And all of a sudden, I immediately respond to that.
Mm,
And the last thing I was going to say about the humming was so great is it's been like, and I can feel where I'm holding, where I'm blocked. And I'm like, oh, my jaw's a little tight. Okay. Oh, that feels good. It's resonating in my chest. So that feels really good. I can't feel my lingam. I can't feel it. Okay. Oh, so my hips are tight. The hum, it's like radar. You can feel your body from your hum.
I
You can
really want
feel
to.
it.
I want to like hone in on the. I don't know if we mentioned this now before or after we press record, but you mentioned that the chakras are connected between the throat chakra and the sacral chakra.
Actually, first and fourth are connected. So root and heart are connected. Navel, sexual second chakra, and fifth chakra, which is throat, voice, are connected, and third and sixth are connected. So power and intuition.
Hmm.
So tight hips and tight jaw are almost synonymous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes to have a jaw release, you might open your hips, vice versa, or you release the jaw and your hips will open. It's incredible.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm.
I think that we're in a time right now where people want to speak up, but they're afraid, or people have a lot to say, and it's starting to bubble to the surface. So, besides the humming, what else would you suggest for people to start to express their voice?
Oh my God. Mm. Chant. There's like chakra meditations. Chanting is amazing. We were doing this. Oh, chanting. And if you're feeling stuck in the throat, chant upward. Oh, because then it won't get blocked in the throat.
Mm-hmm.
Just a nice open throated chant. Super simple. You'll feel, I mean, it's amazing. It will completely start to express.
Wow.
Yeah, chanting is really cool.
And with building a practice of chanting and humming and doing this on a regular basis, do you think that that then allows us to be connected more to our truth and do things willingly to express it out? Like, is that what it helps, or how do we? What does it
Well,
do? What by doing this practice? Like, what do we feel? What happens?
oh my God, it's so interesting. I love it. I love it. I love all of your questions. I can only really speak to your experience. How do you feel different now than you did before we got on the call?
I feel way more present.
Mhm.
Firstly, like I feel like I forget that this is recording. Secondly, I feel more grounded in myself. I feel more in my body. I feel more like I don't give a fuck. To be honest, like it feels like I'm like, okay, like I would just, like I'm just,
So
like I don't know how to explain it.
so you just answered your own question.
Yeah.
But my question to you is if you ever got what you wanted, would you know?
Yeah.
Because you asked the question and you were already experiencing it.
Hmm.
So
And
you
so,
the answer.
really, whatever I need, and that means whatever the person listening needs, by doing this, they'll get what they need, because it might be different to what I'm experiencing, right?
Yeah, because their frequency and their body and their resonance is different.
Hmm.
Everyone has their Stuart Pearce, who's my very dear friend and mentor. I highly recommend him. He has an amazing Spotify chakra meditation.
Oh,
I like
cool.
to pick him. He's amazing. He just wrote his book on Princess Diana when he coached her. But we all have our signature note. It's called the heart note.
Mm.
So your sound and how you express your sound is just different for everyone. Everyone has different traumas, and race, gender, sexual orientation, age, weight, height, physical impediments. So you are your own violin, and they're all different.
And we have different notes, right? Because there's sometimes when I'm like soft and I'm speaking from this place and it feels like it's true in that moment. And there's sometimes when I'm just like fierce and it's like, "Ugh," and I just want to express that. And then there's like other time, like there's different,
Yeah.
I call them flavors, right? There's different flavors that I want to bring to a moment. Is that still connected to my heart song?
Well, now we're getting more advanced work, but yes, if you were my client, what I would work on with you would be, you can also have a voice for your yoni, for instance.
Hmm.
So you could actually drop into a lower register. So it's like below the heart and the gut. So like I'm feeling really sold, because you hear what I've done to my
Hmm.
voice. It's still honest, it's still true. It's from this chakra.
Yeah.
And then there's times where I really want to actually talk about big ideas and I'll speak up here.
Mhm.
And then there's times, this is home. And then there's times where, like, you've done in the polarity work where the
Yeah.
guy he'll growl at you.
Mhm.
So if I'm using like that deeper register, if I want to use that, and I'm just having it come from a different part of me. And so, and what the masculine loves and the feminine, I would imagine most of your podcast listeners women. Are they most?
I think there's a bit of a mix, to be honest.
But do you mostly coach women or men?
I mostly work with females at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling. So part of what the masculine craves is variety. So I
Mhm.
loved how you talked about flavors. I would add, what if your flavors had different frequencies?
Mhm.
Ooh, this one's a docile tone. This one's a rich tone. This one's really sinewy and like it's coming from different parts. Like, because I mean, the masculine loves the Madonna horror, right? We want both, and the feminine wants the killer lover.
Mhm.
So, does the Madonna and the horror as archetypes, do they come from different parts of the body?
Yeah.
So then why wouldn't you speak from different parts of your body?
Mm.
Mm, mm,
Mm.
mm, mm,
Mm.
mm, mm, mm. Sorry, I don't know I think I'm crazy. I
I
don't
love
know.
this. I love this.
How have they not locked me up at this point? Like, I'm so passionate about it, and I see it happen all the time, and I see where people struggle in their purposes in their life and in relationships, and I'm like, because you're not asking for what you want,
Yes.
not asking the universe, like, I want this, I deserve this, I want a Vera Wang dress, and I fucking want it, right? I want that goddamn job. You're not gonna get it unless you ask for it.
Mm.
I want a conscious man. I'm gonna conjure that motherfucker. Sorry, excuse my language, but like,
Mm.
I'm getting them from a lower place. I'm asking for what I want.
Yeah.
We have every right to ask, and then we have to be open to receive for when it
Okay, let's talk about that, because there is a, oh, that's a whole other thing. That's like a,
arrives.
that's a whole
Well,
other
it's
thing.
not another thing. It is part of the thing.
Is it linked? Is it linked between being able to, like, firstly, like if we look at what I'm going to do after this, right? Like I'm going to create a practice of humming and of chanting and using my voice, because I recognize there's some blocks that have shown up for me. So if I work on that first and I clear that and I get like, oh, and I like can start to really express, and I'm very much into flavors. So I really want to create a practice of releasing the voice for each flavor, right? And then the next step, right, in order to receive, in order to open, to be receptive to what that brings, what happens?
Can I just, I'm not meaning to tease you at all, but I'm going to ask permission. Can I tease you a little bit?
Please go for it.
Because I'm giving you all of these really amazing opening and feminine practices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to put it in like an IKEA set of like these masculine containers.
Okay, oh my God, this
Practices.
is so true. So I've been in a very masculine, like
I
structured
can tell.
workplace
I
lately.
want to like,
And structure.
stop it, shut up.
Yes.
Stop trying to like put it in a cookie cutter thing.
Dude, I'm probably going to make a spreadsheet about this conversation afterwards. I'm in that much of a masculine shell right now. I'm like, I need to structure this so it makes sense in my brain, and I need to be able to see it, and I need to, I don't know why.
My feminine will out feminine your feminine. Like, yeah, maybe. So, no, okay. Well, do they do it like this and then this? And if they do that, and then you're going to put it in the slot machine and then it's going to come out like this? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't know the point.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you picked up on this, because it's so true. I'm literally I'm just like looking to structure everything at the moment, and it's actually grinding my gears. All right, I'm going to stop this.
I'm going to stop this. I'm going to control it. And now I'm going to like this.
Well, I'm not going to do anything. I don't know. What do I do? You tell me. What do I do?
Okay, can I lead you for a minute? Can I just lead you this? You want to ask me questions?
Please.
And I'll just tell, yeah, good. Oh. Wow, you're so beautiful. I love your eyes, by the way. Such exquisite, amazing, beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So another thing that can happen just let it be like water. It's just water. So you hum and then you chant. And then the other thing I would say is, what if that felt really good and it turned into a mantra, like a manifestation mantra? Like one of mine is prosperity. It's like, money is easy, it just comes. Money, and I use my mantra of what I'm conjuring, what I'm trying to bring in, what I'm wishing for. I love mantra. I love like 108 times that spiritual mala bead. Like, I'm conjuring my God, my Shiva, and I'm conjuring him. I'm conjuring my, whatever it is that my next, my purpose is divinely guided. I'm divinely guided. My heart is divinely guided. My heart is, and you just say it over and over and over again, and you say it in any which way you want. You can whisper it, you can yell it, it can be anything. It's your whatever. So then maybe you turn it into mantra, and then that openness of your being then is like a magnet of the mantra of that frequency, is aligning you with your desire. And I know we're in this podcast, and being able to hum and chant and have mantra, and you do that, and that it can take hours, or it could take 10 minutes. Who gives a fuck? There's no right way to do this. Be just, Swear. You need to swear more. You, Sam, you need to swear more.
Me?
Yeah.
I swear a lot.
Yeah, but really enjoy it.
Uh-huh.
I want to be like, fuck.
Mhm.
Do it.
Fuck.
Good. Now do it juicier, less tension. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. Oh my God, you're glowing. You're literally, I can see the light around you. So your emotional body is now vibrating out to your subtle body and now even further into your energetic body.
Mhm.
So change your life.
Mhm.
Hmm. You
Mm.
also should elongate your vowels.
Mm.
That'll really open you up. So your vowels are short. Mm, mm,
Mm.
mm, mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you speak in a more masculine sense, in which is you are more consonant than vowel. I
Ah,
would want more balance from you. I would want to hear how I speak, how long my
yeah.
vowels are.
Mhm.
Yeah, longer vowels, which is the feminine, and the consonants are the masculine.
Mm.
Vowels are the substance, and the consonants are the container that carve the sounds.
Mhm.
Hmm. So if
Mm.
you added more vowel to your life, I believe you'll add more abundance and pleasure to your life.
Ooh, that hit me somewhere in the heart.
In the
Ah.
the Australian accent's interesting because it is actually pretty clipped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fast talker. I shorten words. Like, and Aussies do this. Like, we have slang for stuff, so we're not in isolation. We're in ISO. Like, we will shorten. We'll just make words quicker. So I
The
think
South
that's
Africans
where
do
I.
that. The South Africans do that too.
Mm,
Lick, lick. It's not black. It's lick.
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's it's much more of it. As opposed to the Irish, because the Irish is just because it's more of a bit of hilly land.
Mm,
Yeah, here it. So actually, terrain actually makes what a lot of the accents, right? As
mhm.
opposed to the Scottish, like mountains, like so. Like it's so interesting how the voice and like the terrain where people are from actually has created that accent.
Yeah. It's really interesting because I noticed. What is that about? No,
You're
I
clearing.
noticed.
No, you're clearing.
I'm clearing. Okay.
It's phlegm and stuff is actually moving through your throat.
Okay, good. When I was living in Canada and when I was spending a lot of time in the US, I noticed, and I have one of my best friends is a vocal coach as well, and she said to me, "Oh, your voice has changed. Like there's something about the resonance or something that's changed." And people would say, "Oh, where are you from?" Like I started to have this accent that wasn't quite any kind of accent; it was just a blend. But I find myself when I spend time somewhere around a certain accent, it just, I don't know what it did. Like it helped me, I either molded to that or it helped me open up and talk a bit more clearer and a bit more pronouncey, like I pronounce stuff better like when I was there. I don't know, but yeah. I'm like, don't ask another question, Sam, just like be.
I know it's funny. It's funny. And I love it. You're in your feminine now. You're like I don't know. You're like this hippie chick, and I dig it. Rather than no. Like this is it's great.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Well,
Mm.
you're leading the podcast now. I'm out.
How good does that feel?
Okay, I think that's why. Like when you said that before, it made me emotional as well because when you said, "Can you just let me lead for a second?" I was like feeling like saying, "Please, please lead me. I just don't want to do it." It's like this whole thing just like weight went off my shoulder. I was like, "That would be wonderful if you could do that." Yeah. Hmm. So that also is a reflection of me needing to receive that because there is that offering and there's me that goes, no, I'm going to do that. I will lead. Mm, yeah. Well, I feel like this has been an incredible experience, and I really hope that the audience felt like that too. But you've given me so much value in this conversation today of how I will literally change my life, but of ways in which, yeah, it's just been really insightful and so valuable. My heart is so open, and I really appreciate the work that you do, and also the passion that you have for the work that you do, because I'm not just saying this because you said it at the start, but I actually feel it. Like, it makes me, if anyone's allowed me to tap out of the logical mind of making sense of it, you've actually allowed me to really feel it today in my body, and I'm so appreciative of that. So I really appreciate you and your work and what you do and the wisdom that you have, because it's touched me in more ways than you know today. And so thank you.
Go take a bath. Light some candles. Just chill out. This is because that's a lot. You might want to drink some water too, because a lot of stuff is released. Vitamin C, Epsom salts. Because sometimes I work with people over even Zoom, not just in person. They can get sick because toxins are released. So even you just coming into your heart out of the jaw, it's like you're going to feel exhilarated. Don't be alarmed if you feel a little bit of a retraction later, a little emotional hangover. That's okay. So just really be nourishing to yourself. And for anyone that were watching or listening to this podcast and that followed it along, same thing. If you're feeling a little fuzzy, it's healing. It's light. Literal light is moving through your system. So light and vibration are the same.
Yeah, my whole body's vibrating right now.
Well, I let me know if there's anyone, I love to serve, I love to give, and
How can people go and find you and look at your work?
I have an Instagram, Jamie Wollrab Studios, which is it's my acting and voice work. JamieWollrab.com is my website, and I can take emails through there if people want to talk to me there. And I do private sessions, and I teach a voice class. I'm doing a donation-only voice class on Fridays, 10 a.m. Pacific Coast in the United States, Los Angeles time. But I love working one-on-one. That's my jam. Like, I love taking people through a series of purpose work, vocal work, and artistic work, and honing that with them. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you, and thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today.
Of course, such a pleasure. Mwah. Bye.